Salam Indetnachu. Yo guys, welcome back in today. Today we're going to be cooking a dish, or actually dishes, and this variety of dishes is called beyantu. And so there's different dishes on top of injera, and injera is like an Ethiopian staple. Of course, it's eaten in other countries too, like Eritrea as well. But you put different dishes on top of injera, and so they're like different small dishes. So that's what that means. That's what beyantu means. So that's what we're gonna be cooking today, right? It took a lot of work to get the prep, but we got a lot of different things. So we're gonna get into it right now. I hope you guys like it. I'm gonna have the ingredients down there, but I'm gonna say it as well here. And just look over me, because this is my first time trying it, but I think that it will turn out delicious, and I think that you guys will like it. If you never cooked Ethiopian food, now you'll know how to cook it. At least you'll have one dish, but actually it's not one dish, it's multiple dishes. Remember that. And let's just get right into it. So the first dish we're gonna cook is Shiro, and this is actually a powdered form of Shiro. It can probably come a different way, but it's a certain type of bean. It probably, I think, personally me, I don't know for sure, but it might be a lentil if I'm correct. So I'm pretty sure it's a lentil, but you could say a bean or a lentil. And it's in powdered form. So that's what we're gonna be cooking, right? It's gonna turn out differently, you'll see. And then we also have berberi, which is a spicy powder that you guys can also get at the Ethiopian store, right? And this is all from Ethiopia. And the reason I have the rest of this here also as well is that in this dish, there's gonna be some of the onions, some of the garlic, and some of the tomatoes, but excuse the peppers and the kale right now because it's not gonna go in this dish, but I just had it on the same plate. So I'll also put everything you need at the bottom, right? And then obviously, you know, you can sort of kind of figure out like how much you want, more or less onions, more or less spice. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna wanna put the tomatoes in there. So I have the tomatoes in here. I'm gonna turn it up on, I would say a little bit past medium high, right? And so I have my tomatoes in here. I'll let it cook down for like 10 to 15 minutes. What I have right now is I have the tomatoes, then I'm gonna add some onions. And after I add some onions, then we're just gonna cook it. I'll add a little bit of garlic. We're gonna cook it for like 10, 15 minutes. So after about a good 10 minutes, we're gonna add some oil. So I have some olive oil. Don't be scared with it. And then we're just gonna stir, 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 stir. It smells really good. You guys have to have this. You have to try this. Ethiopian food is some of the best food in the world. So next we're gonna add the Shiro, and then we're gonna add the spicy butter. And if you don't know, the Shiro is the light one and the butter is the dark one, or the one that is like a reddish. If you're from America, it sort of looks like paprika. Let's go ahead and add some water to the Shiro. And we're just gonna stir it around and make sure that it mixes good. And then we're just gonna let it come to a boil afterwards. So now that it's boiled and it looks delicious, man, I wish you guys could smell this. This smells so good. We can add the Shiro powder into it now. Now I might have put a little bit too much Shiro, so it might be a little bit thicker. So the Shiro got a little bit thicker, but now it's okay. There's actually two different types of dishes. So there's one that's like a watery Shiro, and there's one that's a thicker Shiro. So this looks like it's gonna turn into a little bit of a thicker Shiro, but it's okay, it's still Shiro. The second mini dish we're gonna be making is called Elicha, and it's basically carrots and potatoes, and then you add onions and garlic and green pepper into it as well. So this one is one of my favorite parts of the dish or dishes, And this is number 2 of the mini dishes that we'll be making. So now we're gonna make Elicha. And I already added the onions and garlic, and I let it simmer down a little bit, and I added oil. You probably wanna add oil just enough to cover maybe like a little bit of the top of the vegetables. But I'm gonna cook this for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But before I finish cooking it, I'm gonna add the carrots into it. So at first, I just wanna make sure I keep stirring it, you know, every once in a while constantly, because you don't wanna let the garlic burn. And then after 2 or 3 minutes, I'm gonna add in the carrots. So we got some carrots right here. Let's go ahead and add them in. So now after about 10 to 15 minutes, we're gonna add the potatoes. So I have the potatoes right here. Let's go ahead and just, well, let me put them in there singly, and then maybe I'll dump them in there. Let's go ahead and throw them all in there. You'll probably want to give this another 10 to 15 minutes, and then we're going to add water. Also, just want to make it clear, quick disclaimer, I'm not doing this on my own. I have an Ethiopian friend that's helping me right now because I don't know if I could actually do it on my own at first, but I'm trying to learn. So as we learn, hopefully one day I can come back and I can do it by myself. So after 10 or 15 minutes, we're going to add some water. And the reason we're going to add water is because it's going to give it a little bit of like a slippery or more of like a soupish type texture. So then when you pick it up with the injera, it's a little bit softer and a little bit easier to eat. So let's go ahead and add the water now. And now we're gonna add some salt. I use pink Himalaya sea salt, but you can use any type of salt, but I would recommend a healthier salt. But yeah, we're gonna add some salt now. So let's get to it. And then we'll let it cook for another 15 minutes until the potatoes are soft, or if they're soft before that, then that's when we'll be done with this dish. So now to the Elicha, we're gonna add the green peppers in, and the dish will be done after you add the green peppers in. The potatoes are soft now, the carrots are soft now. It has like a little bit of like a briny, or like the water is not clear. It's sort of taken on the color of the potatoes, like a yellowish water. So that's how you know it's done. And then also, you know, you can push into the potatoes and make sure they're soft. So now we're going to add the chili peppers. Then we're going to stir it up. This is a really, really delicious. I love potatoes. You guys know I love potatoes, so this is going to be delicious. Let's go, baby. I'm hungry. Let's go. I know you guys like meat, but like I said, this could be for vegetarians. This could be for meat eaters. This could be for vegans. Like, it's beautiful. Everybody can eat. The third dish will be called Gomen, which is kale and then peppers, and then you'll add onions and garlic into it. So this will be the third mini dish that we add on top of the Ethiopian injera, which is a sponge type bread. And it's a staple in Ethiopia, and you can add all these different dishes onto it, and that's what makes it beyaintu. So for the Gomen, we're gonna do the same thing that we just did for the Elicha. And so we're gonna add onions and garlic. The same way, also, we're gonna stir it around first. And so after 3 or 4 minutes, we're gonna add the Gomen, which is the kale. So after about another 10 minutes, we're gonna also add in some peppers, some green peppers. And the last dish will be the Ethiopian salad. So we'll have lettuce, we'll have lemon that we're gonna put on it, we're gonna have garlic, we're gonna have tomato and onions and peppers, and that will be the fourth and last dish that we put on top of the injera. So this last part's pretty easy. The fourth dish that we're gonna make is Ethiopian salad. So it just consists of tomatoes, onions, some peppers, some lemon. So we're just gonna make that real quick, and then after that, we'll be ready to eat. Here's the end result. We have all the different 4 dishes, and now we're going to enjoy the dishes that we've cooked. I've cooked. Mostly I've cooked, I hope. I cooked most of it, not all of it, most of it. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me just try it out real quick because I want you guys to understand how delicious this is. I know some of you guys never had Ethiopian food, so let's just go ahead. What you do is you can tear a little bit of injera off. Let me actually start from this side. And the great thing about injera is it's a sponge bread. I'm just gonna tear off well, maybe I tear off a little bit too small, but it's okay. I'll just put it together. And the great thing about injera is that you can eat the food and then you can eat the plate. Not the real plate under it, but you can actually eat the sponge bread. And so I usually go to left, right, right, left, whatever you wanna start. But let's go in for a little bit of Shiro. That is very good. I know I exaggerated, but I haven't eaten all day either, so. This is really delicious. Let's go for one more. Potatoes, carrots. That tastes like heaven. You need to go ahead and make these different 4 mini dishes, variety dishes. It takes a little bit of time, I'm not gonna lie, it takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it. It's so worth it at the end. Please like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you get all my videos. I'm in all social medias, which is African Network. And guys, until next time, keep eating Ethiopian food. Peace, one love.